Hi there, good morning everyone. Today's reading is going to be, what does this person want from you? Do they want to have sex with you? Was going to be my original sort of title. I don't know yet. I'm going to see how it flows and change the title to suit what comes out. So there you go. Right, you've got 3 piles, pile number 1, pile number 2 and pile number 3. So if you want to take your choice, then we'll get going. We'll find out what this person wants with you. Okay, right, I'm just going to start reading straight away without trying to think too much about this. I'm getting the feeling that this has a real strong sexual component. I'm not saying that because of the title. It's comes across extremely strong in the whole reading. It makes me feel of something that has almost taken you by storm and turned your world upside down, and this person feels the same. They feel as if they have met somebody who they've really fallen for, and I get the feeling that there's been some sort of turn, something slipped from their fingers, and they're almost taking a cool approach to something that feels like a sexual rumblings inside themselves. They are coming across as the devil and Neptune. So these two cards together make me think and make me feel that this person is quite quietly obsessed, and there's a lot of fantasizing, and they're almost drowning in their feelings. There's feelings of wanting to be controlled but not knowing quite know what steps to take or how to get there. It's somebody who is a real mush of sexual impulses and overthinking and overfeeling. So it's all swimming around inside of themselves, and it's almost as if the only thing that's working is inside their pants because their thoughts are basically thrown out the window. Right, you're coming across as the Queen of Pentacles. The Queen of Pentacles is almost completely different energy. You're coming across as quite focused and quite sort of, to me this changes in a minute, so wait with me. You're coming across as quite focused and quite grounded in this situation. So I think you may know who this is, who wants to sleep with you, which I'm going to say that's from the beginning. But I think that you're quite cool with the situation, but I don't think you've got there easily. So just hold on to see how this spread develops. The reason I'm saying that is the card down here that tells me about you has the Tower. So the Tower card makes me think that either you have met this person and been totally blown off your feet and vice versa, or your relationship has met some sort of upset, or, and I don't mean just a small upset, not like they ignored you while you were coming out of Marks and Spencer's. It's more a case of you found out this person slept with somebody, you've slept with somebody, or you've basically found out that you can't get together, or it's just something quite big. I'm going to go through the power one by one to try and answer the question, what does this person want from you? And, is it sexual in some way? This person has thoughts and feelings which are quite romantic in some sense because they're quite idealistic. This person sees you and thinks about you as being their sort of dream person. It's somebody that they probably would have wished they'd met probably years ago because they feel like they've wasted some time. But there's some hurt in this pile. There's feelings of vulnerabilities. There's feeling of wanting to pull themselves away at certain times just to heal before they can come back and take it on. Almost as if it makes them feel vulnerable and sensitive to be with you in some way. Now behind them, I do think there may be a period of pulling out of this relationship, of them basically lying low and just being left with their feelings. And their feelings are quite intense. Their feelings are quite mature, so they know how to express their feelings. They know what they feel, and they know it just you make them feel expansive in a mature way. It's not in a childlike way that when somebody wants to grasp something in case it slips away. It's more, I don't know actually, with the devil here. Perhaps it just makes it feel bigger. The thoughts and the feelings are just, it can't be maturity because you've got the devil here. So I'm going to change that. It's just got to be very emotional. this person is having a real emotional connection with you and struggling with it. And what they're doing is they're pulling in and out of this relationship, I think. And I don't know whether the last pull out, was a bit too intense for you. Now, the reason why I think this person, whether male or female, has a real sexual feel to you with regards to the question is that your hopes and fears are the Queen of Wands. So they're coming across as somebody who's quite fiery and feisty, and that's the type of person that you want in your life. It's something that you want life to pick up. You want probably why you've clicked onto this reading. You want life to have that real sort of sexuality that makes life move and makes life feel like it's worth living, because there's the passion there and there's the pull there, and that's what you're searching for, probably a little bit more than the lovey-dovey. And with this person that you're inquiring about, that's exactly what you're going to get, because they're coming across as the King of Wands. The King of Wands is somebody who's not scared to throw themselves into situations. They're not shy in intimate situations. They're quite forward-moving. They're quite assertive in sexual situations, and they run hot, if you know what I mean. They're very, very quick to get moving and to instigate anything with regards to who they fancy, who they find attractive. It's not somebody who beats around, I'm not going to say beats around your bush, but beats around the bush. They're forward, but this person's stewing. This person's forward and sexual, but there's something. This person can't get to you, and it's turning almost in on themselves, and they're daydreaming and fantasizing. But if your person is the King of Wands, they don't want to be doing that for long. This person wants to get moving. I don't think they are. I think they feel as if you've been taken away from them in some way, and that everything they had their heart and their mind set on has been ripped away from them. And what they want to do, because they are the King of Wands after all, is make a real practical start with you. And if this question of this whole spread is about sex or a sexual, I'm going to say adventure with the King of Wands, this person definitely wants to start fresh. But I don't think they want it like a flash in the pan sort of encounter or relationship. It's something that they want. With the Ace of Pentacles, it's something that they want to build on. It's not just like a one-night stand. It's somebody who I think has been hurt. The feelings are rumbling below them, and they want to. It's quite a passionate feel about it, but they want it to be something that grows. Right, I'm going to put a few extra cards down here, because this is actually quite a strong sexual spread, so it might change what I actually put in the title, depending on the three. Because I once did a spread, and I think it was something to do like what they want from you, and it was like a sexual spread or an intimate spread, and nothing came up in the card. So to be honestly, and I had somebody in the comment section say, what was all that about? Basically that's not saying anything, but because I didn't want to lie. This person, it gives me the feeling of somebody who likes to watch and wait, but I think they like to watch and wait once the encounter is already in progress, if you know what I mean. There's somebody who's probably quite visual and likes to see somebody undress, somebody who probably quite likes just to basically use their eyes to begin with, more so than other people. But this person, being the King of Wands, has an intolerance to how long they can actually wait for the build-up for this to actually start. It's something they might enjoy once you're in intimate moments of having sort of that push and the pull and the waiting and the playfulness, but they don't want that in the relationship towards the build-up of that. So this person is very passionate, and they like a creative approach to any relationship, regardless of whether it's sexual or not. But this person really does have a time limit to how long they want to do it for. The creativity is okay once you're actually together, and it is like a sexual encounter, but not so much beforehand. They want things to get moving, because to be honest, they feel quite thwarted at the moment. But when this person does actually get with you, they want something a bit more long-winded than a one-night stand. Right, I'm going to finish there, pile number 1. A really nice pile. Really nice pile. I'd quite like that pile if it were me. Right, thank you very much for listening, and I hope to see you again. Bye. Hi, pile number 2. So the answer to your question is going to be, I don't know what the answer to your question is going to be. Your question was, what does this person want to do to you or with you? And basically, does it have a sexual component to it? So let's get going. I can't promise anything. As I said before in the pile earlier, sometimes it comes out as being quite platonic and I feel like I've foiled you in some way. But let's go anyway. I'm going to go quiet now to deal the cards. Okay, right, pile number 2. This strikes me as you falling for somebody who's quite reserved or in a situation where they can't express themselves freely. Your feelings, I'm going to go to yours first because they're fantastic, are the devil and Venus. So you are feeling extremely, I'm just going to say horny. There's that feeling of being, I think in Britain we call it randy, but I know that's quite a common name in America. So basically, I just think that you've got the horn really. With Venus here and the devil, it's the feelings of like a compulsive sexual feeling, and the Venus here as well, it's mixed in with a feeling of love. So it's a real sort of crush feeling. You have a real sort of crush feeling going on here. Now, the person you have a crush with is somebody who bolts quickly. It's somebody who I get the feeling from they feel, I would say, out of their depth in the relationship or the attraction, and it's making me feel that somehow that the relationship is constricted in some way. There's some way that they can't do something or can't express something or can't give something, and it makes them feel like they're backed up against a wall, and what they're going to do if they're pushed is basically run. They're going to bolt because there's some way that this can't move forward with regards to a sexual, I'm going to say conquest here, because to me it really feels like it is going to be. You really seem to me to be the partner with the ball in your court or the balls in your court. I don't know whether you're male or female, I don't expect it really matters. And the Nine of Swords here and Uranus is somebody who who's nervous. Okay, let me see if that made me laugh, I don't know. Oh dear, it reminds me of Pepe Le Pew, that's what it makes me laugh. Okay, right, so this person is fantasizing about you. They don't know which way to go. It's in their head, but it is tinged with fear. They don't know what to choose. They don't know which way to move. And they may have many choices. So this person may be in a relationship, or they may have a lot of people that are attracted to them. And this is what's been causing a real conundrum inside their head. Now, they see you as the Empress. So the Empress card to me is either you have children, or if you don't have children, it could be both. It's not either, it could be both. You could be just that person who exemplifies the ideal female, because you've got Venus here as well, which is the card for the Empress. And this is a person who's very at home in their body, very feminine, whether male or female. It's just somebody who is beautiful, and they express themselves with an air of beauty about them. The way they talk is very soft, the way they dress is very soft, they put their clothes together. It's the type of person who gets clothes from anywhere, like a jumble set, and puts it together and looks gorgeous. It's somebody who can, don their home out in some way, and they just got everything right. You may be quite artistic, but there's just something that people see you as being beautiful. You may not be the most physically beautiful person, but people see you as that. So you may not have that confidence inside yourself, but this person sees you as that. Right. I think the situation between you two has been quite balanced, so there may be some connection, but that connection, I think, in the past has basically been quite cerebral, as in you have kept a cool demeanour. You have probably expressed yourselves in very sort of restricted or held yourselves back in some way and just done the polite conversation bit. This person is quite at ease with that. They're quite at ease at keeping everything on the surface level for the moment because they feel that it could explode if not. I do feel that subconsciously your person is probably quite passionate. They've got Knight of Wands here and they want to move forward and their feelings are sexual, their thoughts are sexual, but I don't think that's what you've got from them yet. Excuse me. And I don't think it's coming in the near future because you've got the Eight of Swords here, and with the Nine of Swords here makes me think of anxiety. this person is attracted to you and almost feels like crying when you're speaking to them because they don't know basically how to express it, because they know it's going to get them, I think, in hot water in some way. And I don't know whether it's in hot water to do with their life situation or hot water to do with the way that they make them feel vulnerable. It could be either. But this person does have not just sort of a sexual pull towards you with a Knight of Wands down here. I mean, that's quite a sort of, excuse me, physical feeling. But with the King of Wands here, is sort of an emotional, and it's a mature emotional feeling. So I have the feeling here that you've fallen for somebody who's quite mature in some way. And this makes me feel like an old pal I read a while back, where this person is basically trip-trapping through life, you know, being very congenial with everybody, and they're probably very charming and very expressive. And then you come in and they can almost sense, you know, it's like a beauty, but it's like a rabid quality about it, where they can sense the attraction, and they're almost trying to stay mature and stay sort of balanced in a way, the way they express themselves in front of people. But it's almost, you know, they can feel it. You're coming across as the World here, so I think that the attraction from you to them is something that feels like it's been a long time coming. It's almost as if you've kissed quite a few frogs to get to this feeling. So you're quite certain that this person is your person, and I think your feelings are quite intense towards them. So we're going to get to the end question, their feelings towards you and whether they're sexual or not. Once again, this person is doing that mature thing in life of basically tiptoeing towards you, because I think they've been brought up to be rather a nice girl or not rather a nice boy, and taking it slowly, but it's causing them inner pain. And the end situation is, you know, are you going to have a sexual encounter with this person? With the Three of Wands, not yet. There's going to be a lot of looking. They're looking at you and they're trying to sort themselves out. This person makes me think of somebody who's doing a lot of inner workings to basically make themselves be less anxious when they talk to you, because I think you're coming at them with a real sort of sensuality and a real sort of, to me, it makes me feel like you're quite naughty, and it makes me feel like you're quite sort of playful with them, and it's given me that feeling of them trying to be quite mature and almost like, oh my God, crikey, let's get the conversation back on track type of feeling, because people are watching. Right, let me get a few cards out here for this one here. So it wouldn't surprise me with the Three of Wands. I know it's said in many readings whether this person is doing lots of sneaky findings out, lots of sneaky lookings, and with social media nowadays that is so easy. But this person finds you beautiful. But beautiful mixed with a real fear. A real fear, okay. Do you know what this makes me think? I think that you're quite showy. I think you're one of those men or women that really are quite confident in the way they express themselves. And I don't just mean in romantic relationships, but I mean in life in general. You're somebody who doesn't mind dressing up. You have that confidence and that flair. And you have a real sort of, I'm not going to say sensual, it's a real sort of, I'm going to say cheeky bawdiness. It's that fun, not afraid to express yourself in intimate moments, or leading up to intimate moments. It's not that sort of, you're not restrained in your sexuality at all, and I think this person is. And I think this person is looking sneakily at you out of the side of their eye, and you're basically giving them something good to look at. In every way. I think you're playing up to this situation, which is fantastic. I don't know why this is amusing me. Right, I'm going to sum you up, pile number 2. This person is basically all up in arms about their attraction towards you. They are the type of person who probably has a nervous look in their eye when you're speaking to them, because they want to basically run, because you're bringing bits out of them that they don't express as freely as you do. They see you as like the Empress card here and the Seven of Cups. It's almost like a daydreaming beauty personified, which is really complimentary, but it's those two cards together. But what you're actually getting from is a really balanced, restricted conversation, or really balanced, any communication is quite sort of mature. They're expressing their feelings quite openly, possibly, as in they like you, but there's an air of fear with them, so it's not going any further than that. You've almost, I think, worked up to this conversation and made a stamp on this person, as in, you're the one that I want. I'm not going to sing it. Because you've kissed a few frogs and this person's really floating your boat in some way. And I don't know whether you share a work situation together, or I don't know whether you just have spent some time together or in groups together where this can't be expressed freely from their point of view, but don't think that's bothering you. I think you're still going gung-ho for the unsubtle approach, which to me makes me feel that you're quite amusing with it, or you're quite funny with it, and this person is sort of watching, and there's a wry smile there, but they don't know quite how to take you. And then the Three of Wands here, there's just a lot of feelings from this person, but there's a lot of restrictive watching. And you are playing up to it. You are really doing the sort of like sexual pantomime for this person. It's like, Christmas pantomime time with you, I think. Which is, I think they find you amusing, but I think they are on their back foot with regards to whether it's going to go a bit too far and whether they can actually match you on that, because I think they might be quite introverted with regards to the way they express themselves, or they can't express themselves for some. That Nine of Swords and the Eight of Swords here, there's either anxiety, internal anxiety, or anxiety to do with a life situation. Right, pile number 2, I'm going to finish there. I hope that makes sense for you. So, what a great pile. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you come back again. Bye. Right, high pile number 3. Let's get rid of this one. Let's get you. Oh no, I forgot. I changed it last time. Sorry. Pile number 2. There you go. Pile number 3. This is you. Didn't change the pile. I need to write that down. Right. So, does this person find you sexually attractive? What does this person want with you? Do they want to have sex with you? So basically, it's an attraction spread, but more physical attraction. So let's get going and see how it turns out. I'm going to go quiet while I deal the cards. Three, your pile has a totally different feel from the other two piles. Now, the other two piles, especially the second one, was quite funny to me and it seemed quite amusing. Your pile has a real feeling of, I know it's supposed to be a sex reading, has a real feeling of spirituality, maturity. So I'm just about to ruin your sex reading, but not totally. Let's just go with it. So your person's coming across as the catcher. I can't read that. Basically, it's a dream catcher. And with Uranus here, makes me think of somebody who's very good at looking into the future and interpreting things. It's a real spiritual, sort of intuitive feel about this person. Somebody who has a little bit more depth than the average person that you meet. I'm not going to say me on the streets. I'm just saying from the other piles, they were just straightforward attraction piles. This has got a little bit more depth to it. This person wants a little bit more from somebody else rather than just sex. I'm getting that feeling from the very beginning. There's a real, a real strong sexual component to this spread, but this person isn't totally led by their genitals. This person is somebody who needs a mental connection and an internal connection. I'm not going to say emotional yet because I don't know it, but this person needs to connect on the mental plane and needs a spiritual connection. This person needs to feel a bond. But you're coming across as somebody who, Five of Pentacles and Mercury, it makes me think of somebody who, I'm going to say this straight, and it's not going to be what you expect from this sort of reading, but somebody who perhaps in their life has had difficulty expressing what they feel or what they want from people. And this person recognizes that, and it's almost like a healing quality towards you. So this pull towards you is totally different from the other piles. It's more like a spiritual healing quality. This person can actually build you up in many different ways, not just in the, like in through a sexual relationship. This person's drawn towards you because they feel like they can not help you in a derogatory way or in a way that puts you down, but in a way that they can identify with parts of you that they have, or their vulnerabilities, and they feel that they can bring that out with you. So I don't know, if this is a sexual spread and it's meant to go that way, whether I would interpret this as that you have difficulty expressing your sexual desires possibly, or when you feel attracted to somebody, and this person can sense that and is almost going to be a healing quality towards you, as in, it's not towards you but for you. It makes me feel as somebody that feels a connection that's run through lifetimes. With Uranus there and the dream catcher, it's so it feels like a karmic bond. Different feel from pile one, number 2. Right, and this again makes me feel as if it's different. This person has a real maturity about them. So if they're in a relationship with, if they're already taken or they're with somebody else, then it's something that they're going to feel quite difficult to get over to be with you. There will be a defensiveness about this, but there's still a connection there between you. But this person feels as if it would be morally the wrong thing to do to move forward with you in that way. Now, there's 2 things I'm picking up from this. One you might not want to hear and one you may want to hear. Now, the 6 of Cups and the 9 of Cups makes me think of somebody, if they are in a relationship already, they quite like the basis of being in an established relationship. But the 9 of Cups there makes me feel that something has hit them lately that has made them feel as if, which I'm assuming is you, as if they've opened emotionally towards you. There's a real sort of explosion of, it's like a feeling of being self-satisfied and finding somebody that you connect with. With the 6 of Cups and the 9 of Cups here, it's a real feeling of finding your dream lover in some ways. And then this is sort of solidified up here with the King of Cups, which once again, see, this is where it turns a little bit more sensual or sexual. Sensual, I'm not going to use sexual for this part, to be honest. I will. I forget I've said that in a few minutes. The King of Cups here is a mature feeling of wanting a strong emotional connection with you. This person, whether male or female, really wants to connect with you in an adult, morally correct way, but their feelings are also very sensual. They feel the pull towards you. They want to move forwards with you, but this has a feeling of somebody who could possibly put morals or a correct timing above making that move. If they don't think it's the right time to move towards you, then they won't yet. This is quite a moralistic person, I feel. With the 5 of Pentacles, the 5 of Pentacles and Mercury here, it's almost a feeling of wanting to do the correct thing for you at the correct time, because they feel like there's a nurturing feel with you. They want to make you feel good about yourself. There's a softness about this pile I've not seen in the other piles. You've got 2 of Cups here, so I think you see this person as your ideal person. You feel like you're the same person. I'm not going to say it. I don't know, my voice has changed because this pile has a totally different feeling to it. The other piles made me laugh. This one is a real sweet connection. It's a connection where you feel as if you possibly could, for the first time in your life, express yourself equally and open up to what you want, your desires, because you feel that they're not going to get laughed at, or you feel that this person is going to be able to reciprocate them without feeling like you've asked for something that's out of their remit in some way that they don't think they can give back, or it's not part of their personality and it's just not the way they're going to act. You identify with this person and he or she identifies with you. This person at the moment, I think there's a lot of watching and waiting and not much movement, but there's a real recognition with the Sun here and the Sun for the hopes and fears, the 9 of Cups here, a real recognition of you being that ideal, you making them expand, you making them feel like the King of Wands. So I think that you could possibly be the person to bring out this person's sexual side, but at the moment I think it's all thoughts. It's all thoughts. You've ignited something inside them, but it's almost as if they're dealing with it in a way that's not going to hurt anybody. So I don't know whether your relationship's complicated or whether it just hasn't kicked off yet, but this person wants to do it in the proper way. There's a real sort of heartfelt feeling of nurturing you and making the best out of you before they jump on you. No, I didn't mean that. Making the best out of you and then letting the sensuality and the sexuality develop in a very natural way. Right, I'm going to put some more cards in here. Okay. Right, if this relationship does develop further, I have a general feeling that there's going to be something of and I don't think this is negative, it depends on which way you play it. I'm thinking, it depends what you want. I mean, if you have a Cancer Venus or you have Cancer in your chart or Scorpio in your chart, you might quite enjoy this dynamic. I think if this relationship develops, and I think it will be one of those simmering, sensual connections where there's a bit of a power play, where one dominates, and I'm thinking it's the person that you're asking about is going to be the more dominant character with this Uranus here and this sort of intuition. It has a real Cancer-y, the sexual connection will be very intuitive. They will know what you want, they will know how to give it to you, but there'll always be that sort of power play where they know exactly what you like and they like you to be a little bit more vulnerable. And that's what this person wants from you. They enjoy that power play. So if you're that type of person and their intentions are good, it's not a nasty power play, it's basically just a sex games in some way, I suppose. It's a type of person. Do you know what? I've just done an astrology reading for, it was that, I'm not going to tell you who it is actually, because that will ruin it, because it was a blind astrology reading, and I had to guess who it was, and I went through it. And the person it came out of who it was, that you might actually find out who this is if you watch it. It was somebody who is very much in the public eye and somebody who is very famous and very powerful. But there's an air of illusion about it. There's an air of wanting his woman, and it doesn't matter what sex it is, to be beautiful and admired by lots of other people, but them knowing that they own them, if you know what I mean. And I mean own as in like a really, and not so much with your pile, but I wonder whether this person does feel like that in some way. Actually, maybe not. Maybe that was a strong word. But there's a real sort of 50 Shades of Grey feel about this. Yeah, I read the book. It was awful. But I'm just saying the dynamics are the same. There's a real feeling of nurturing and softness about it. There's nothing negative about this at all. It's but I think this is how the game will play out with you two. It's a real smoothness, a real maturity, a real connection, and there's that protective, nurturing quality that I think later, as a relationship develops into a more sexual arena, is going to be a bit of a power play. But I think, to be honest, it might suit you both. It might suit you both to have that dynamic there. Because it is sensual and it is intuitive. It's got that Scorpio vibe and that Cancer vibe about it, where somebody likes to take control, but they're also very loving and very giving. But there's no inner dynamics here that are painful. It's just a strong sexual pull that is quite got soft undercurrents to it. Right, I'm going to finish there, pile number 3. Do you know, I'm sitting here thinking, have I got anything to apologise on what I've just said? I don't think I have. I'm just thinking if I insulted anybody. I don't think I have at all today. Hooray! So good luck with that. It's got a totally different feel and really interesting to me. It's a real smooth, sexy, magnetic, passionate feel about it that in some way I don't think has got really quite kicked off yet, or is there some restriction in some way that it hasn't kicked off, but the attraction is there, you know, the morals are there, and they're just trying to keep them, you know, encased at the moment. And basically, I can't think of the word, they're basically trying to control them, but the sensuality and the sexuality is rumbling, and it's ignited this person, the way that this person thinks and feels and acts in their everyday life. Right, pile number 3. Thank you ever so much for watching. I hope that helps in some way.